I was provided an early access code for The Sims 4 My First Pet Stuff Pack by EA. All thoughts and opinions are my own. Hey guys, Whitney here, and welcome to my review of The Sims 4 My First Pet Stuff Pack. So I actually did do a live stream of this on Monday over on Twitch, and I do still have the video of that stream up on there if you want to go and watch it for yourself. But basically, I'm going to very quickly go through all of the items in this stuff pack. And let me just say that, first of all, thank you to EA for providing me with a code for this pack. But you guys know that is not going to impact how my review goes. I'm going to be honest and all of that because I know how important that is for those of you who are spending your hard-earned cash on, content like this. So first of all you really need to know about Create a Sim is that I'm really not very impressed. We literally got like one t-shirt that looks like a recolor of other t-shirts we already have in the game. There's only a few new hairstyles. One of them is just a recolor of the other one. And kids got no new hair. They literally just got a t-shirt and a onesie. And the onesie is adorable. I love the recolors of it. Don't get me wrong, but it was very, very underwhelming, and I was honestly pretty disappointed with Create a Sim. And I know a lot of you probably buy stuff packs because you want more Create a Sim stuff in your game, and in my opinion, this would not really be the pack to get for that purpose. I know this is mainly a DLC for DLC kind of thing, like it's kind of based off cats and dogs. I'm pretty sure that Simguru Graham had a tweet somewhere saying that you can still own this pack if you don't have cats and dogs, but that obviously the cats and dogs stuff will not show up in your game, which seems like that would be kind of a waste of money in my opinion. So, I mean, you're free to your own opinions, but if you want to buy this pack and you don't have cats and dogs, I feel like you will not be getting your money's worth. But that's just, again, my opinion. And the clothes that we got for pets, I was kind of underwhelmed as well because we got like a few new outfits that already match things we have in the game. They got one new hat. They didn't get any new collars, nothing like that. And I didn't see how this was really, I don't know. I feel like we didn't get a lot of substantial stuff in Create a Sim and Create a Pet, if that makes sense. And I'm really bummed to say that because I was hoping for the best. When news of this pack came out, people were very torn, and I know this is probably one of the most controversial packs we've had in The Sims 4 in a while. So I am going to be very honest about it, and that also goes with speaking if I'm unhappy. And I am lucky that I am an EA game changer, and that also means that we have an opportunity to be honest and let them know what we're not happy with. So that's what I'm gonna do. I do like the build buy stuff that we got, and I will say I was expecting the hamster and the hedgehog and all of that to be like the same terrarium. I was expecting it to be one thing that you like pick if you want a rat, or the void critter thing. I was kind of expecting that, but we actually got 4 separate terrariums. They all look exactly the same, which, that's kind of a letdown, but at least they're not just a reskin of the same exact animal, if that makes sense. But I know some people were unhappy about the terrariums not being accurate as to what the actual animal is like in real life, and so I wanted to mention that in my review because I know that's been kind of a sore spot for people who have these animals in real life. So yeah, and as I said, if you don't own cats and dogs, there's a lot of cat furniture and stuff like that in this pack that I don't know, that if you don't have the pack, then you won't get that in your game. It's all very confusing to me, to be honest. I feel like this is a very confusing pack. DLC for DLC is just not a very good idea, in my opinion, and I really, really hope that The Sims 4 does not do this again in the future, please, EA, because it is so complicated, and it's very controversial, and it's just not a good time, But yeah, we got a few new styled rooms and things like that, and I do like the items that we got. They're very good if you want like for kids rooms. I feel like a lot of stuff is child oriented, so if that's your thing, then definitely by all means, invest into this pack if you are really excited and just can't wait. As for the actual gameplay that we get in this stuff pack, obviously you get your rodent and you can talk to them and feed them and clean their cage if need be and play with them and all of that kind of stuff. You can rename them, you can study them, observe them, cute little interactions that I honestly wasn't expecting more because, you know, if you look back in the past of The Sims 2 and The Sims 3, every time we've had a small animal, there's not much you can do with them. And people are like, oh, they're treated as objects like babies are in The Sims 4. And yes, that is true, but it's also how they've always been kind of put into the game. And in the past, you know, series like Sims 2 and Sims 3. There's not much that you can do with small animals besides hold them and play with them and all of that. And I've had small animals in real life in the past, and I will say that I really wasn't expecting much more from the actual gameplay that we get with the small pets. So I was pleased with that. They're cute interactions, especially when they bite them. It is just absolutely like so precious, so great. Yeah. But also, if they get bitten and the cage is dirty and they have a low relationship with them, then they can get infected and end up dying from like mad rodent disease or something like that. I wasn't able to get that into my footage for this review because it's kind of a long process, but definitely an interesting new death. And they end up in this like hamster costume, which I was really hoping that the hamster costume would come in recolors of like the hedgehog or things like that, but they didn't, so I was a little disappointed. But yeah, I do like that the cats interact with the terrariums and you can see the small pets in their terrariums running around and sleeping and just kind of interacting with their environment, and I thought that was a really cute little thing. But yeah, and when they study them, apparently for the children that counts as their homework, which I thought was pretty interesting, honestly. But yeah, I do get a kick out of the cute little interactions that they have within their terrarium and that they actually interact with it. Yeah, I mean, I was happy with that. I'm happy with the small pets themselves. But as people have said, was kind of hoping that the terrariums would look a little different for each animal. You know, just subtle differences, you know, that match what the animals would need in real life. All that being said, my final thoughts on this pack are that I don't feel, in my complete honest opinion, that this pack is worth your buck. I feel that, especially if you do not have the Cats and Dogs expansion, definitely not worth your, I don't know. I would not like go out of my way to buy this pack, especially if you don't have cats and dogs, because it's already feeling very lacking in the Create a Sim, Create a Pet department. So I would imagine if you didn't have the Cats and Dogs expansion pack, that you would probably feel even more disappointed or underwhelmed. That being said, I don't know how many people will actually buy this pack who don't have cats and dogs, because I feel like if you're a very pets-oriented player, you'd probably have that pack. But if not, I just want to let you know that I think it's a little lackluster. And for like the Create a Pet items, like I said, I was also kind of underwhelmed. We got one new hat for them and a couple outfits that I just will never put them in, and I only used for the sake of this gameplay footage. So basically, I do think that these small pets are adorable. I will say that. I don't want to be entirely negative because I know people don't like that. I know a lot of people, you know, don't like when simmers are negative, especially game changers, because they think you should be grateful you got early access. And of course, I am extremely, incredibly grateful that I was provided early access. But that being said, I feel as an EA game changer, it's right in the title, game changer. I feel like it's important to talk about what we're not happy with so that hopefully things will change in the future for these packs. Like I said, I'm not a fan of the DLC for DLC thing. I don't think we should ever get a pack just based off an expansion pack. It just feels like it belonged in the expansion. And I don't see now, even after looking at everything we got, I don't see why this wasn't included in the expansion with the release of Cats and Dogs. So basically those are my thoughts. Your small pets can do little things when you're not looking. They'll like go off into like a rocket ship, or they'll like go to, you know, they'll go on different travels and bring you back a postcard, and it's like cute little stuff like that. But I do really like the small pets. I want to put that out there. I think they were well done, and I just wish the terrariums were a little bit different. But my problem is overall, like, not necessarily the content that we got, even though, like I said, I was a little underwhelmed. My biggest issue is that this pack is going to feel to many people like a money grab. And while yes, they are a company and they need to make money, they also need to make sure that their paying customers are satisfied and happy. And I just don't know if many of you will be. And that's my honest opinion. Those are my honest thoughts. I wanted to go from this as the point of view as a consumer who purchased this product on my own dime, and what I would have thought at the end of it if I had spent, my $10 US dollars on this pack, and how I would feel afterwards. And I would honestly feel like it was a little bit like underwhelming, and I would feel like maybe I should have saved my money and maybe not have bought this pack right away. Scale of 1 to 10, if you guys like to hear what players think on a scale of 1 to 10, I would probably give it a 3. That might seem pretty harsh, but like I said, just the stuff that came with this pack was underwhelming. And honestly, the overall concept of this pack and the fact that it was made when it should have probably arguably been made in like part of the Cats and Dogs expansion. So those are my final thoughts, and I'm sorry that this was such a kind of negative review, but I feel like I need to be honest, and I'm always honest. If I loved this pack and thought it was amazing, I would tell you guys that. So just try to understand if you're like frustrated with me for being negative, that I am coming from a place of love, and that I just want you guys to have the best content, and especially if you're paying for it, I think that's very important. So those are my thoughts. I hope you guys enjoyed. At the end of the day, it is up to you. It is your opinion. Let me know in the comments what your opinions are and all of that. So if you like this, give it a thumbs up, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more videos from me, and I will talk to you all in my next video. Bye guys.